Good afternoon, everyone. A little bit chilly outside in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, but inside Conte Forum, things are starting to heat up on the campus of Boston College for today's ACC matchup between the BC Eagles and the number 9 ranked NC State Wolfpack. Pack of 1-5 straight. We'll see what happens today. Welcome you courtside alongside former UVA standout Chelsea Shine. I'm Sam Ravitch. Great to have you with us here today. Chelsea, essentially, ACC play starts today. We know BC already had the loss to Duke earlier in the year, but you've been through it. What's it like to really start ACC play and get it going?
Yeah, this is the most wonderful time of the year. Classes are finished. All you have to focus on is basketball, and the league a little bit more wide open than we've ever seen it this season, so there's a lot of excitement around the start of conference play.
Sure is. A lot of changes, too. I mean, you look at the preseason polls, and you look at the left side of this column, a lot of these teams have not exactly performed the way that I think a lot of pundits expected them to. You look at Notre Dame and you look at Clemson down there, but our two teams picked at polar spectrums. You see NC State picked second and BC picked 13th.
Yeah, some of those teams, UNC, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, have much better non-conference records and really have that momentum going into league play. And so, again, it's exciting, the league a little bit more wide open at the top, and exciting matchups to come.
Again, our two teams picked a bit differently, but NC State, one of the biggest reasons they were picked so high has got to be Elisa Canane and the way that she's playing recently.
Yeah, the sophomore for Westmore has done a tremendous job. She had an impactful freshman year, and her production and efficiency is up even more in her sophomore season. You see her numbers there, 65% from the field. She's efficient, she gets to the rim, and she's added a three-point shot to her game as well.
On the other side, sticking with front court, although a little bit smaller, Taylor Soule has been scoring a bunch of points recently for the Eagles.
She's averaging 20 points over their last 3 games, plays bigger than her size. She's just 5'11", so will be outmatched in the height department against Canane this afternoon, but has done a really good job for the Eagles with her toughness and ability to run the floor.
Again, Boston College has already started ACC play. They lost to Duke earlier in November. This is the first official game for 9th ranked NC State at 11-0. Back-to-back Sweet 16 appearances for NC State. Head coach Wes Moore says his crew wants more this year. Sweet 16 appearances not going to be good enough. Ready for tip here at Conte Forum, and we are underway. The tip goes right to Marnell Garrard. Trying down low to Emma Guy, up and in. Nice pass. 6'3" senior forward from Penfield, New York, averaging 11.5 a game. Take a look at the NC State starters, Aislinn Conan and Kai Crutchfield can really shoot the three. The freshman, Jakia Brown-Turner, has been good. And Elisa Canane, who we mentioned at the top, 6 double-doubles already this year.
NC State extremely disciplined in their half court. You just see the patience they have working the ball around the outside, eventually for Canane to be able to post up and get a high percentage shot on the interior.
Shot from the outside, Cameron Swartz is no good. And an offensive board for Michaela Dickens. This is a very good rebounding NC State team. They do not give up very many second chance opportunities.
Coach Burnaby McNamee talked to us before the game and said that rebounding was an area that she knew NC State was really good at, but her team needed to find a way to contend on the boards, and they've done that early. 2 now offensive rebounds in this possession for the Eagles.
34 defensive rebounds a game. That ranks first in the conference. Couple of offensive opportunities. We'll head to break. Just 2-2, just underway here on the ACC Network. Boston College has had certainly a couple of good non-conference wins. 5-0 at home so far this season. The 80.8 points a game. That ranks second in the conference, 13th in Division I ball. A very balanced offense, and they also get quite a few steals with some good defense.
Yeah, this is a team that does some of the little things really well. Over the last 3 games have been averaging 90 points per game, so are putting up the numbers. They have some different options. Coach McNamee talking about the importance of Emma Guy playing well on the inside as well.
That one off the mark from Emma Guy. Wide open, Jakia Brown-Turner puts it to the floor, gets fouled. And we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul's going to be on Marnell Garrard. 5'7" sophomore to Lynn, Massachusetts. First one good for the freshman out of Maryland. One of the highest recruits, really, in record history for NC State. You look at their recap, 11-0, third best start to school history, trying to make it 12-0 today, but Boston College plays some real good defense. That one off the mark, another second chance opportunity, knocked out of bounds, going to stay with the Eagles. But just going back there to that season recap, you saw the win against Texas, and you were saying that kind of means a little bit more to that now.
Well, Texas upsetting then number one ranked Stanford. Texas not ranked, but certainly if you're Coach Westmore, you can only be pleased with that outcome, as it's going to hold a little bit more weight now in terms of their defeat of Texas earlier in their Hawaii tournament.
Kai Crutchfield wide open to Kayla Jones on the post. Her first points of the game.
The Eagles would like to play a little bit more up-tempo. They talked about pushing the basketball. NC State, we talked about a team that's disciplined in the half court, but will push when they have opportunities. These last two possessions, Boston College has not done a good job of getting back and defending transition, which has been a key for them. So NC State taking advantage of the opportunity to run a little bit in the open court.
Kayla Jones, 6'1" junior from Janesville, North Carolina, excuse me. Kai Crutchfield from three, knocks it down. She can certainly do that, shooting 40% from beyond the arc. Emma Guy to the right, puts it in the lane.
Well, Emma Guy's done a really good job of using her offhand to sort of push Conane out of the way to create space to get a clean look at the basket. Again, outmatched with Conane at 6'5", but Guy has had some good back to the basket moves down low.
Kai Crutchfield left open again, puts it to the floor, this time from the elbow, knocks it down. She's feeling it tonight. That could be very dangerous for the Eagles. Kayla Dickens looking for help. Garrard was step back and knocked down a three.
Again, credit Emma Guy, her ability to step high and draw Conane out, and then a little rub screen handoff to Gerard for the open look.
Kayla Jones driving, some contact there, gets her own rebound, and a carry called. A turnover ball going the other way for Boston College. One of the keys to the game for Boston College today to play against an undefeated and 9th-ranked NC State team.
Well, they have to be able to knock down shots, and they play that inside-outside game. You need your players on the perimeter to knock down some of those shots to open things up on the interior. I think Guy has done a good job early on of really battling down low to create space. And then transition defense. Coach Burnaby McNamee talked about wanting to push tempo, play a little bit more up and down, but you have to be able to get back as NC State looks to be opportunistic in when they're going to push the basketball.
Gerard was looking for a charge there. I don't know, you tell me, Chelsea.
Here again is Conane running in transition, and her feet were not set. I did not think. It's a good call by the officials.
That's her second foul, so key contributor on defense for the Eagles. Will have to play it a bit safe here. She'll go to the bench with 2 fouls. Conane knocks down a pair at the free throw line. Another substitution for Boston College, as Georgia Pino will check in the game, the senior out of Victoria, Australia, for Emma Guy. Taylor Ortlep checking in. She missed last couple of games due to an injury. Coming back in the game last time out, now coach Joanna Burnaby McNamee says that she's good to go, full throttle here today. Head coach Wes Moore, 4 NCAA tournament appearances, like we said, back-to-back Sweet 16s. Really good recruiting class coming in. It's got a couple of great shooters on this team. Jakia Brown-Turner hits from outside. She's got 5 points.
Boston College just has not moved quick enough in their zone to get out on shooters on time.
Canane quickly out in the open court. Conan, nice bounce pass to Brown-Turner. Transition game is strong today for the Wolfpack.
And credit Conan again with that early outlet pass through contact to get to Koenig, who was able to push.
Into Seoul, some contact, no foul called. Out of bounds, gonna stay with Boston College.
Here's that last possession. Watch Canane on the rebound, pull it through contact, still getting set, able to get it out to Koenig, and then just good transition, good patience, allowing her freshman counterpart to get to the basket before making the pass.
Michaela Dickens thought about the three, picks up the dribble, backdoor pass. Nice underpass to Emma Guy. That extra pass from Milan Bolden-Morris.
It's a good sign again for Emma Guy early on. Some quick baskets. She had a good confidence game in their last game against Delaware State, 19 points. I think if you can get her going inside, you're going to open up some options.
Kayla Jones in the lane for 2.
Boy, every time NC State scores, Boston College has to come down and set up in the half court. They really haven't had any chance to run themselves in transition.
Ortlep's pass deflected. Emma Guy comes up with it. 15 on the shot clock. Dickens' 3 is no good. And the rebound for Kayla Jones, the junior, and again, quickly up the half court. Jones looking for Canane down low, has her. Extra pass to Koenig. No good, Canane with the offensive board. Jakia Brown-Turner from the corner, off the mark. Ten-point lead for NC State early on in this one. 3 from Dickens, off the back iron.
Not sure that's the shot you want. It's a quick shot.
Kayla Jones doing some post moves, gets it to go. A couple of quick points for the junior, averaging 9.5 a game. An 11-2 run for the Wolfpack. Back to Guy on the post, nice move, the up and under.
One of my favorite moves. Really good read by Emma Guy, good patience on the inside.
They really had a career game, 19 points, went 8 for 10 from the field last time out against Delaware State. Ace Koenig's shot is no good.
Here's that last possession. Gets Canane just a little bit off balance, able to go back underneath with the up and under.
There's head coach Joanna Burnaby McNamee in her second season at Boston College. Came to the Heights after 2 seasons as a head coach at Albany. She led them to an NCAA tournament in her first season. Played Division II basketball, was a very good player in her time. Served as an assistant coach and was a big part of Maryland's success from 2003 to 2007 and helped them win a NCAA championship back in '06.
Certainly learning a lot from Brenda Fries and her staff, and an experience to be able to go through national championship. You take a lot away from that.
That one taken away. Quick hands for Boston College.
Keep in mind that first media timeout was called a lot earlier in this quarter at about 8 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. So there has been no extended stoppage of game up to that point. So perhaps fatigue setting in a little bit.
Up in fourth game, Jada Boyd across the lane. 6'2" freshman out of Petersburg, Virginia, has been a key contributor off the bench. She's appeared in all 11 games and logged some serious minutes. Cameron Schwartz tries the drive. Ely kicks to Crutchfield. Jakia Brown-Turner fighting in the lane, gets her own rebound. Kicks it out to Crutchfield, wide open, knocks it down. Kai Crutchfield, 3 for 3 today from the floor. It's got 8 points to lead the way for the Wolfpack.
Boston College defense just has not been disruptive at all. NC State able to score at will. Offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities, getting some easier baskets.
Foul with 0.6 seconds left here in the first quarter. A couple of substitutions here. 0.6 seconds. A toss in, the whistle, and the buzzer will blow. 26-11. North Carolina State with a heavy lead. 8 points for Kai Crutchfield, second quarter, coming up next.
Well, it has been all Wolfpack early on in this one, as 3 players doing a good job of scoring between Kayla Jones, Kai Crutchfield, and Jakia Brown-Turner. NC State has gotten 14 points in the paint. They've had a couple of triples from the outside. They've done a really good job of pushing in transition when they've had opportunities, shooting it at a really high clip, 10 for 15 from the field in that first quarter, as you can see, and holding Boston College to just 26%. This is an NC State team that leads the ACC in field goal percentage defense, averaging 31.3% per game, and so holding Boston College even further below that average.
I think, if anything, too, what we saw in the first quarter was when you pay so much attention to Elisa Kanane, which rightfully so, she deserves it, it opens up a lot of other players, and NC State has the players that'll make you pay for it, too. Ely driving with the left hand, no good. Georgia Pino, mid-range, off the mark, and the rebound to Ely. Pace of this game has not slowed down since the first whistle, and Jada Boyd knocks down a 3. She's averaging 7.5 a game. Her first points. Kayla Dickens steps back from the free throw line. Boston College trying to find their momentum. A game that's just been back and forth.
Well, the difference has been NC State is making their shots in transition and has been opportunistic, as there's a much-needed three-pointer from Taylor Ortlip early on in the shot clock for the Eagles. But NC State, again, when they have run in transition, they've done a good job of balancing, getting to the rim, and then having the right people shooting from behind the arc.
And Taylor Ortlip is a big contributor to this team. Missed 10 games this season due to an injury. Good thing that she is back. They need her, one of the returning scorers from last year's team. Pino gonna take it herself, saw the open lane, took advantage. Georgia Pino, the senior out of Victoria, Australia. Hey, keep in mind, next Sunday afternoon, the first Sunday of 2020 at 2 p.m. Eastern, more ACC women's basketball as Duke heads to number 7 Louisville next Sunday right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Louisville hosting Syracuse today at 2 p.m. on ESPN2. That's a great game. Dana Evans has been ridiculous this year.
Coach Wall is always doing a tremendous job. We talk a lot about those 2 key transfers being eligible is a huge part of perhaps why they're having so much success from Georgia Tech. Elizabeth Balagoon and Elizabeth Dixon making a big impact in their first year. The Cards, as there's Cunane now, again in transition for NC State. Running the floor hard is the 6'5" center.
Quickly down low to Taylor Soule. Can't get it to go. Soule scoreless, 0 for 3 so far in this one. Off balance shot for Grace Hunter. Still NC State shooting almost 60% from the field so far, 12 for 21. Backdoor cut for Schwartz, and she throws it away. Another thing that Coach Burnaby McNamee alluded to was the fact that they need to limit the turnovers, albeit just 3 so far in this one. Anytime you give NC State a second chance opportunity or a free ball, they can make you pay.
This is an NC State team that has had the same 5 starters, but keep in mind that they are also working back some of those players that have been injured from a season ago with ACL injuries. Grace Hunter, Kayla Ely, and Erica Cassell, all starters previously and going down with injuries. And while they are given the green light to be back in competition, it's still a matter of working those pieces back into the puzzle, which takes some time.
Cunane walks there.
But that speaks again to the depth that Westmore has this season with these players coming back from injuries. Certainly the job he did amidst those injuries last season, still getting to the Sweet 16 despite that adversity. But now that you have those players back, they have that depth. It's just a matter now of getting those pieces back and everybody clicking on all cylinders.
A couple of substitutions for NC State here. Did you have any injuries that kind of kept you sidelined for an extended period of time?
I never did, but I do remember having injured teammates. That it is a matter of allowing those players to get the feel and the chemistry back. And you see, this is the last game that NC State had before a short Christmas break, and the players kind of, Grace Hunter, Kayla Ely, and then 2 of the freshmen getting some really good minutes, playing time, some confidence, which was a really good sign to be able to get those sorts of minutes for those players off the bench.
Physical down low, nice battle between Guy and Cunane. And a jump ball called underneath. It's gonna stay with the Eagles.
Here's another low post by Guy and Cunane. Just a physical battle down low.
Gotta figure that's gonna be an exciting matchup to watch all game. Schwartz from 3, in and out. Cunane grabs the rebound. Ace Koenig for 3.
Cunane draws so much attention that you see just the ball going inside into her hands. You suck the defense down. Cameron Schwartz, one of those players getting pulled over and late to recover for Koenig. There's another 3 for the Eagles.
Rod equalizes on the other end for BC. Kai Crutchfield gets it back, kicks to Koenig. 10 on the shot clock. Koenig with the mid-range. Off the mark and quickly up the court goes Cameron Schwartz from the free throw line. She's averaging 12.9 a game, almost 13.
A really good pull-up for her. She can play at that point guard spot or a shooting guard, a little bit of versatility.
Transferred from University of Colorado after her freshman year. Brown Turner, nice move. Can't get the finish. 4:20 left to go here in this first half. Gerard drives the left.
Good recognition, rejecting the screen by Guy and seeing the whole left side of the floor open. Conane late to recover with help defense.
Boston College outscoring NC State here in this second quarter. 12-8. Koenig looking for a bounce pass. Big collision in the lane there with Conane and Taylor Soule. NC State shooting the ball incredibly well, Chelsea, though.
Ace Koenig, 237th career three, as the Wolfpack still with the lead.
And welcome back to Conte Forum. Boston College is kind of in that rebuilding stage, and Joanna Burnaby-McNamee was very candid about that. And you look at kind of the spread, the roster breakdown, only 3 seniors. They rely heavily on some underclassmen to provide some offense and as well some defense, Chelsea.
Yeah, well, this is a team that brought everyone back, and Coach Burnaby-McNamee acknowledging some of those non-conference losses that they had earlier in this season to Holy Cross and playing against Charlotte down in the Puerto Rico Classic. It's just they didn't play well, and those are some games that you're going to look at, and really their overall non-conference record not as great as you would have anticipated given the roster that they have, but they do have some of those younger players, those freshmen from a season ago now having some more experience, but certainly relying on that younger class to make an impact.
Foul was on Milan Bolden Morris. Going to be taken out underneath. 35 seconds left to go here in this first half. Or excuse me, 3:51, excuse me. Down to Conane. No good, gets her own board. Physical play down low. And she'll go to the line and shoot 2. Fouls on Georgia Pinot.
See, Conane, one of the things that Coach Moore saying she's done a better job of, as a freshman, you get to fly under the radar a little bit. Certainly she had a stellar freshman season, but now is certainly on the radar, and she's getting more comfortable with the physicality, the double, the triple teams, and you're seeing that come out in her competitiveness on the boards as well. She's already got 6 rebounds, and yes, she's 6'5", so she has that advantage, but there's toughness inside, and you see Conane not backing down from that and getting her team second chance opportunities, getting herself second chance looks, and getting to the free throw line. That's a really important part of her game and something that's been extremely impactful for the Wolfpack this season. It's her ability to crash the boards.
Shot from Bolden Morris in the corner. Boston College climbing their way back in this one, down by 10. Conane on the post, runs straight into Pinot.
Well, there have been a couple collisions down low, and you know Boston College continuing to go at Conane to try to get her in foul trouble, and that time a good job to set the feet and draw the charge. That's 2 now on Conane.
So she will check out, go to the bench. Erica Cassell will come in and try to fill those shoes. Gets a tip there. Dickens puts it up, and Cassell with the board. Kai Crutchfield didn't have numbers, has it taken away. In the open court, Pinot. Knocked out of bounds, gonna stay with the Eagles. Conane, prior to the last game against University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, had 4 straight double-doubles. Was a couple of rebounds shy of 5 straight double-doubles in the last game, but she's a double-double machine, and she's certainly more helpful to this team when she's on the floor than on the bench. But those 2 fouls before the half might limit her.
She's got 8 points and 6 boards, so you'd anticipate in the second half she should reach that double-double again.
Ely down low. Cassell knocked away, and another steal for Boston College. Cross-court pass, Garrard. No good, second chance for Boston College. No whistle there. BC fans looking for one. Jones will fire from long range. Off the mark, and Erica Cassell with the board. Ely, no good. Still a 10-point deficit for the Eagles. Minute 45 left to go. Dickens, in and out. Almost got it to go.
Dickens has such a quick release. Quick shot. It was a good look. This is a good decision here by Ely, the veteran graduate student, one of those players coming back from an ACL injury to pull it out, take your time, but she turns it over.
3 straight steals for Boston College and a foul. And Magai will go to the line for 2 fouls on Ely.
Tempo playing into Boston College's favor now as the past few trips down the court, their defensive intensity has been a little bit more disruptive to the Wolfpack, and an opportunity in transition for the Eagles.
And Magai, a 60% free throw shooter, misses the first. Take a look at the Boston College ACC ranks in some major categories there. They are very high on steals and assists per game, and also turnovers forced. Ranked first and second in turnovers forced and steals per game. They're got some quick hands defensively.
Well, when NC State played Maryland, they had 28 turnovers, the most they've had all season. It was more turnovers than made field goals, and it was because Maryland's pressure was full court. They were disruptive, and I think the Eagles trying to emulate the same thing again with their ability to steal the basketball. Didn't do a great job, I didn't think, in the first quarter, but certainly picking that intensity up as another turnover now for the Wolfpack.
Might not have been a steal, but still making NC State think out there. Wolfpack once again finishing non-conference play undefeated, 11-0. Swartz from mid-range. Dickens looking for help. And Gerard fouled in the paint. This quarter alone, Boston College leads the turnover 8-4. And Magai back into the game with 36 seconds left to go in the first half. Guy puts it straight to the floor, up and in.
How about the senior calling for the basketball, knew the read exactly that she wanted. Going one-on-one on the interior.
And Magai, the first to double-digit points. She's got 10 in the first half. 5 for 7 from the field. 15 seconds left to go. Shot clock and game clock about even. Grace Hunter. In and out, no good. And the putback, a foul with 0.2 seconds left. Kayla Jones will go to the line to shoot 2.
That's where this senior is for Emma Guy, doing a really good job on the offensive end of the floor. Doesn't have a rebound yet, though, and that's when we've got to box out.
Hey, keep in mind, more college basketball for you tomorrow night as North Carolina hosts Yale at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. 0 for 2 from the free throw line. And Jones will head to the locker room, as will NC State. But not before Boston College ends the first half on a 12-2 run over the last 5+ minutes. On Tuesday, New Year's Eve, more basketball as Boston College men's basketball travels to Cameron in Durham to take on number 4 Duke. That's Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Boston College won 4 in a row. 36-28 at the half here. Boston College ended it on a 12-2 run over the last 5 minutes and change. There's a really, really physical battle down low, Chelsea, and Elisa Canane has been a big part of that.
10 points for Canane, 8 points in the first half. 2 shots from the field, but then got 4 of her points from the free throw line as well. It's been a physical battle. She's done a really good job, I thought, in transition, being opportunistic. She also has 6 rebounds on her way to a double-double. And then for Boston College, Emma Guy, the senior, who Coach Burnaby McNamee told us before the game, they need her to have a big game and become even more consistent on the interior, has done a tremendous first job, I thought, when she's isolated down low with Canane going one-on-one. Really good moves, I thought, being patient, reading the defense, and has done a really good job of being solid on the interior against Canane early in that first half.
Yeah, and Emma Guy also had knee surgery this past summer, which is amazing to think that she's already back and playing this well. Take a look at the stats between these two, and it's pretty impressive to see the fact that North Carolina State, a team that, by the way, got a 11-0 coming into this one. You look at their stats, it's amazing to see that they out-rebounded teams left and right. They've been able to really press teams. Boston College has gotten them out of rhythm.
Yeah, and that was the game plan coming in. Boston College wanted to push the tempo, make it a little bit more up and down, because NC State's so disciplined in the half court. But we saw NC State in that first quarter especially really take advantage of some opportunities to run, and they were scoring at will. I thought later on as the second half progressed, second quarter, Boston College got more disruptive. They turned NC State over, and then they were really able to use that tempo to their advantage. Rebounding NC State certainly in their favor. Both teams even with points in the paint, but I thought it was really Boston College defense down the stretch that allowed their offense to become a little bit more free-flowing.
Man, I mean, everything there is pretty similar. The 10 turnovers for NC State, I'm sure head coach Wes Moore had something to say about that in the locker room at halftime, but everything else is pretty close, which is shaping up to be a really good second half here if Boston College can come out of the locker room and play like they did at the end of the second half. What do they need to do to continue to put pressure on NC State, Chelsea?
I think it really, you saw it starts with their defense. When they set the tempo on the defensive end and are disruptive, it makes it more difficult. Canane on the bench there when Boston College was making their run, she was on the bench with 2 fouls, so she'll be back. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue to handle her down low, but that's really when Boston College was able to make their run. I'll be interested to see Michaela Dickens 0 for 6 in that first half. She needs to look to be a little bit more effective on the offensive end of the floor, but it'll really become, I think, starting with Boston College defense to set the tone in the second half.
They're a team that scores a lot of points. They're also a team that gives up a lot of points. Boston College, I think, knew they were going to come in here and play a tough team in NC State. You're not going to score 80 points a game against this team, but still, probably one of the more tougher opponents that the Wolfpack have faced this season.
Coach Burnaby McNamee talking to us again about just making shots, and you hear that often a lot from coaches. We've got to make shots,
yeah.
But in this case, talking about the difference of the shots on the outside and how that really opens up things on the inside. Boston College shot 26% in the first quarter. They shot 41% in the second, and that was the difference there. Whereas in the first quarter, NC State 66%, and then in the second quarter, down to 25%. So you see the effect that your defense can have when you're becoming more disruptive. But Boston College certainly doing a better job of making shots in the second quarter.
Canane 5 for 5 from the free throw line in this game. Getting a lot of her points. Shooting free throws today, 6 for 6. Brings the lead up to 10 for NC State.
That's a number, if you are Coach Moore, are going to be pleased to see, at least by Canane. NC State, not a great free throw shooting team, just 64%, which is not a good number, but Canane, perfect from the line.
Dickens hits the backboard there, and Crutchfield with the rebound. A wide open shot for Kayla Jones is no good. Taylor Soule battling for the rebound. It goes out of bounds, and it'll go with the Eagles. And how about her? We talked about Taylor Soule at the top of our show. 0 for 4 from the field, also no points for the leading scorer for the Eagles.
I thought Soule was active early. She's had 6 rebounds, so was having a presence on the interior. But offensively, certainly a player you'd like to see get going.
Guy has it stripped away. Jakia Brown-Turner with the steal. Canane looking down low. That pass intercepted by Soule.
You see the athleticism of Soule. I talked about it early on, as there's a shot for Dickens, her first to go down of the game, but Soule just 5'11", but plays so athletic, can jump, is physical, scrappy player. One of those just really tough players that plays bigger than she's listed height-wise.
Eagles playing some high defense, up in your face. Koenig finds an opening off the back iron, and the rebound to Cameron Swartz. Up the floor go Boston College. Canane knocks that one away.
See Boston College trying to go into Guy. You want to continue to get her looks, as she's been efficient.
Inbounded to Swartz. Pulls up just inside the three-point line, and Crutchfield will let that one dribble out of bounds. Boston College outscored the Wolfpack 17-10 in that second quarter. Cross-court pass to Crutchfield from the elbow. No good, and Guy with the rebound. That pass goes flying to the Boston College bench. The turnovers weren't really a factor for BC in that first half, but start to see legs and arms get tired in the second half. They certainly could become a factor.
There's a difference between a forced turnover and an unforced turnover, and that one is an unforced turnover that Dickens just threw away.
Nice rebound for Jones, puts it back in. She's got 8 points today. Whistle underneath, an offensive foul going the other way. Foul will be on Soule, or excuse me, Marnell Garrard.
Kayla Jones, just one of those X-factor players for Westmore. She's good in transition. She can spot up. She's got good size. You see that toughness, those little hustle plays.
Emma Guy's had some active hands in passing lanes today. Tries to take it herself. Dickens with the follow won't go. Back the other way, 2-on-2 for NC State. Brown-Turner will pull up from the elbow and knock it down. Lead back up to 12 for the Wolfpack. Cameron Swartz for 3.
So every time NC State makes a little run, Boston College has responded.
See the newcomers there for NC State, Jakia Brown-Turner and Jada Boyd have been big factors so far this season. 8 points, 8.5 for Jakia Brown-Turner, 7.5 almost for Jada Boyd.
Both highly touted freshmen who have gotten immediate opportunities to make an impact. Brown-Turner in the starting lineup, has started every game.
They welcome in their strongest signing class in recent memory, too. Ranked as high as 7th in the country. Foul on the floor, going the other way. Take a look at that recruiting class for NC State, of course. Jakia Brown-Turner and Jada Boyd, the higher ones on there. But this is an exciting time for the Wolfpack in Raleigh.
Again, you look who they're going to lose next year. Kayla Ely, Erica Cassell.
Yeah.
Their seniors, Aislinn Koenig.
Taylor Ortlip with the left-handed layup. Bring it back down to 7. Brown-Turner tries baseline. Offensive foul going the other way.
Boston's college defense continuing to fuel their energy and momentum. And we talk about NC State and their ability to rebound, plus 14 in the rebounding margin, and Boston College is hanging right there with them. 26-24 rebounding margin, just plus 2 for NC State right now.
Ace Koenig loses the ball out of bounds, gonna stay with Boston College. The Eagles starting to heat things up in Conte Forum, trail by 7 here with 4:51 left to go in the third quarter. Welcome back. Boston College has done a great job in transition and then helping out defensively too, Chelsea.
Yeah, some hustle plays. You see the push by Taylor Soule and running by their senior, Taylor Ortlip, and then Soule again getting her feet set, taking a charge. Energy and excitement. You can feel that momentum shifting a little bit for Boston College, and a quick response on the baseline out of bounds play, and Boston College 5-point deficit now have climbed their way back.
That was Taylor Soule right there on the inbounds play. Ace Koenig knocks it down. Ace Koenig's got 6 points tonight, albeit just 1 for 5 from three-point line. Ortlip tried a quick 3, no good. Koenig will try again. Back-to-back threes for Aislinn Koenig, the senior out of British Columbia.
A really good job to relocate after making that pass, getting in the vision of Jones to make the easy pass when she was double-teamed.
Taylor Soule on the other end. Back and forth battle here in the third quarter.
Boston College in a high 2-3 zone.
Nice cut down low for Grace Hunter. No good. Back the other way go the Eagles. Dickens to Guy on the inside. Kanane calling for it down low, gets fouled in the paint. Ace Koenig has been struggling a bit from deep this year, but back-to-back threes certainly help out NC State here.
Yeah, well, a wide open look. You've got to hustle and get your hand up. She's a shooter, and then relocates for a wide open 3 by a good kick-out pass by Jones from underneath the basket.
She hit 93 three-pointers last year to set a new single-season program record that she set herself a year prior to that. Koenig on the drive, and Ace Koenig taking over here in the third quarter for the Wolfpack. Quickly, Ortlip can't get that one to go in the open floor. NC State picking up the pace a bit, and a quick shot is no good.
Well, again, 71% of her shot attempts coming into this game were three-pointers, but she can put it on the floor, and you respect her. You have to respect her from behind the arc. She recognizes the defense that time, coming way out and able to put the ball on the floor to go by them.
Dickens steps back mid-range. Kai Crutchfield was looking for a push-off. Didn't get it there. Dickens has 4 points this evening. Crutchfield from the baseline. Got it. Crutchfield in double digits now with 10 points. Kanane was looking for an elbow up to the face. Cano's elbow might have gotten up there. Physical first ACC game for NC State and Boston College.
Once you get into league play, you're going to be facing that kinds of physicality night in and night out.
Kanane posting up in the paint, gets fouled. Almost got that one to go. And once again, some more free throws coming for the preseason All-ACC selection.
Kanane will be a fun player to watch develop over her career at NC State. And you see just the leaps that she's made from her first year to second year, if you can imagine what she's going to be like in her senior season. And at 6'5", just so skilled. I'd imagine we'd even see more of her handle develop of the basketball. Coach Moore talking about her ability to now begin to step out and shoot the three. But just watching her around the rim, we talked about her efficiency, 65% field goal percentage. Just makes it look easy on the interior, her ability to finish at the rim.
What's the next step for her? I mean, like you said, it's going to be fun to watch her progress, but where does she maybe need to improve or go next to add another element to her game?
I mean, I think just certainly becoming consistently better at shooting from the outside. She can shoot the three, but that's not a part of her game that they're gonna be running plays for her to step out. You want to keep her down low, but I think the more and more confident she gets in that, that's something Coach Moore can begin to work into the offensive schemes a little bit more.
Again, just a sophomore. Was named the ACC Player of the Week a couple weeks ago. That one down low to Guy. Kanane tried to block it, but got some left arm of Emma Guy, and she'll go to the line.
Guy has not scored yet in the second half. Has had some looks, but I would continue to go inside for Boston College. You see Kanane gets her hand on the initial tip and then just a little bit out of position for her third personal foul now.
It's just the third and fourth free throws for Boston College in this game, if you can believe it. Now 1 for 3 from the free throw line, and on the other side, NC State 9 for 12 from the line. And Mackay knocks down both of them. Full court pressure from the Eagles now. Get it to Kanane. Quickly up the floor to Grace Hunter. Back to Crutchfield. Grace Hunter for three. No good. Emma Guy with the board, and she walks. $15 turnovers for the Wolfpack. Starting to force a couple more from Boston College on their hand. And Kanane returns the favor, and she walks. Back-to-back turnovers there. Hey, keep in mind, next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, more ACC women's basketball as Duke heads to number 7 Louisville. That'll be a good one. That'll be right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Talked about Louisville. Duke plays at Florida Gulf Coast today at 2 p.m. Haley Gorecki, a name to watch there. 17.4 points a game for her at Duke right now.
Gorecki riddled with injury over her career, graduate student now, and playing extremely well.
Back up and in, Erica Cassell for a three-point opportunity.
Continuing to get those second chance opportunities from down low. Just toughness on the boards for the Wolfpack.
In and out. 45 left to go here in the third quarter. Schwartz drives and puts it in. Crafty from Cameron Schwartz, the sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia. Shot clock and game clock once again about the same. Kai Crutchfield. Thought about the shot, her shoe comes off. Less than a second left to go. BC couldn't get it off. 56-45, a back and forth third quarter. Ace Koenig lit up the three-point line. Then Dickens on the other end, the step back. And then Koenig on again. Welcome back, about to start the fourth quarter here. First ACC game for NC State. 26-10-20, it's been back and forth. The third quarter was tight, just a three-point difference between the two. But Boston College has had NC State on the ropes a couple of times, just hasn't been able to take that lead.
You know, as a coach, you're always interested to see how your team's going to respond after a few days off. Both of these teams getting to enjoy a 4 to 5 day break over Christmas, and it can be tough sometimes to come back and you haven't played in a few days, and not only have you not played, but you're entering back in right into conference play and working out some different kinks, just getting those things under your belt. I think both coaches have already had things that they're pleased with, but certainly things that they're going to go back and watch in the game film and things to work on.
Cameron Schwartz, the mid-range shot, gets it back within single digits. Almost taken away by Guy. Jada Boyd puts it to the floor quickly to the rim. Jada Boyd's got 7 points this afternoon. That one just given away to Erica Cassell, and she travels.
A highly touted freshman coming off the bench, Jada Boyd, puts the ball on the floor. Nobody steps over to help.
She had 11 points last time out against Tennessee Chattanooga off the bench. Bolden Morris looking for open space. Can't get the shot to go. Ely falls to the floor on the rebound. Ten on the shot clock. Boyd, cross-court pass to Brown Turner for three. No good. The rebound for Boyd puts it back in. Schwartz was fouled on the pass, going to be taken out underneath.
6'2" freshman forward. Again, NC State crashing the boards hard.
.33 rebounds for NC State. BC is hanging right there with 30 boards. And Magai tries baseline. Kicks it to Ortlep. Off the mark. Offensive rebound for Seoul this time. No good. Kai Crutchfield tries to take it. Didn't have numbers. Gets the foul, though. Helped to her feet by teammates. Michaela Dickens went to the floor hard there.
This is the point in the game. 13-point lead right now for NC State. You really want to try to extend that lead. Boston College has seemed to respond every run that NC State has made. Boston College has found a way to amp up their defensive intensity and close the gap a little bit. So this is where, if you're NC State, you've got to find a way to shut the door in this final quarter. I thought Boyd has been a fantastic spark off the bench for Westmore. 9 points for the freshman. 4 for 4 from the field, and I think she's, again, one of those players that benefited from their last game against Chattanooga. Just that confidence booster in the minutes she had.
Canane will check back into the game for NC State. 12 points, 7 boards for Elisa Canane. Dickens looking for help, finds Guy on the post, takes it strong. Emma Guy with the left hand. She has started 59 straight games for Boston College. It's that long-range shot for Canane, no good. BC with some numbers. Guy has it blocked. Crutchfield will take it the other way.
Good job by Crutchfield to pull it out.
Canane trying to create space down low. Koenig from way downtown, off the front of the rim. And the rebound for Emma Guy. Dickens will try for 3. Quick shot there with a fresh shot clock. Will give the ball right back.
I thought Dickens has taken a couple of those throughout the game. Some quick 3-point shots when her teammates haven't been down and set.
Dickens kicks this time to Ortlep. Can't get that one to go, and they certainly are glad to have Taylor Ortlep back. One of the big 3-point shooters for this team has been a bit cold today. Again, just her 3rd game this season after missing 10 games. Boston College won of their last 11 3-pointers made. Jones looking for Canane in the lane, has it knocked away. Gerard in the open floor from the free throw line, rims in and out. Starting to see some tired legs out there, Chelsea. Back and forth here.
Again, this is where those couple of days off might be factoring in. Now in the 4th quarter, losing a little bit of that energy, that pace. Canane recognizing the mismatch under the basket.
Canane's gonna get the foul on Dickens. Physical battle down low between Canane and anyone who's guarding her. Coach Joanna Burnaby McNamee not necessarily happy with the call. They thought we were both physical. Crutchfield open in the corner. Offensive board for Jones, and a fresh shot clock for NC State. Again, keep in mind it resets to 20 on an offensive rebound. Down to Canane, nice pass. And that's blown off, the offensive foul. Physical play, 5 minutes left to go in the game. We got a close one here in the Heights. Coming up after we're done here in Chestnut Hill, current ACC co-player of the week, Beatrice Montpremier, and number 24, Miami, will take on Wake Forest. Tiffany Green and LaChina Robinson will have the call there. Montpremier had 3 consecutive double-doubles last week alone. Shared the Player of the Week honors with Florida State's Kaya Gillespie. ACC opener for both of those teams. Both teams on 3-game winning streaks, so should be an exciting one there.
That'll be a fun matchup when NC State plays Miami, not until later in February, but the 2 leaders in double-doubles, Canane and Montpremier, going head-to-head. Miami, you talk so much about Montpremier averaging a double-double, but really supported by that junior class of Kelsey Marshall, Micaiah Gray, and India Banks. It's Canane, on her way to another double-double.
How about that 8 for 8 for the free throw line, though? That's something that she's been working on hard to improve her game. Just a 63% free throw shooter coming into this one as Kai Crutchfield knocks down a big 3. Crutchfield's got 14 points to lead the way for the Wolfpack. 3 for 6 from deep tonight.
Crutchfield has been a big piece to this puzzle for NC State. Inserted into the starting lineup a season ago when Grace Hunter was injured right at the start of conference play, and Crutchfield called upon and has just been consistent for them and has really had a good non-conference slate so far.
Canane gets the ball down low, and a whistle blows, foul called. That'll be on Georgia Pinot. Both teams still a ways away from the bonus. Taken out of bounds and knocked out of bounds by Ortlip. Hey, next Sunday on ACC Network, it's Nothing But Net, our weekly studio basketball show. You'll get a look back at the best games of the week just completed, a preview of the week ahead, all with the best highlights and analysis. Nothing But Net next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Canane almost lost it in the corner. Gets it back. Crutchfield, mid-range, and another offensive board. Good job by Canane just to knock that back out. Down low to Canane. Knocked away by Guy. And a scrum on the floor, a kick ball called. Gonna stay with NC State. Confused look on Coach Burnaby McNamee's face. Elisa Canane now picking up her 7th double-double of the season. 12 points, 10 rebounds today. Brown Turner, awfully quick to the lane. Gerard for 3. Gerard's got 11 points now. Brings the deficit back to 14.
Boston College in stretches has played very disruptive, which has fueled their offense. I think they struggled really early on, especially in that first quarter, to knock down shots. But when they're hitting from behind the arc, and again, complemented by Emma Guy on the interior and Taylor Soule, Coach Burnaby McNamee acknowledging when her team is knocking down shots and playing well from those positions. They're right there. It's just a matter of being consistent in that area.
I think, too, when you look at the game from last season when these two teams met, it really wasn't even close. This is a very different looking Boston College team than I think most ACC fans have grown to be accustomed to.
And given the parity of the league this season, it'll be fun to watch as where this team is now compared to where they are in February and then come March. Just different opportunities with some of the different teams having more of a chance to make a run at the top, since it is more wide open this season.
Crutchfield has that one knocked away by Soule. Gets it back, and quickly up the floor go the Eagles. Gerard doesn't have numbers, gets fouled as Jakia Brown-Turner pokes her hand in there. You look at the upcoming schedule as well for Boston College, and it's manageable. I mean, these are some teams that are kind of down in the conference right now. Notre Dame certainly has not had the start to the season I think some had anticipated. Obviously, Louisville, a great team this year. But like you said, Chelsea, I agree with you completely. This is a team that can really play some disruptive defense and make you turn the ball over. They have made NC State get out of their comfort zone quite a few times today. Foul underneath. That's going to be on Canane, going to stay with Boston College. Emma Guy and Canane have been going at it all afternoon. Canane will check out again, her 7th double-double of the season. Up in the air, Soule puts it in.
You just see the athletic ability. She can get up, just so tough and physical.
Full court pressure for Boston College now. Get it to Ace Koenig. Koenig looking for cutters. Finds one. That's Camille Hobby checking into the game for the first time today. 6'1" freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. Schwartz from deep, no good. Desperation time for Boston College now, and it appears as if NC State will be able to hold on to this one despite the effort put in by the Boston College Eagles today.
NC State's just so balanced. We talked about that depth, and as Boston College would become more disruptive, you've seen NC State be able to respond because they have the depth, able to push the tempo. 5 players in double figures. Canane finishing with her 7th double-double of the season.
Canane on the bench after a real tough game today. Take a look at NC State's upcoming schedule. Also a pretty manageable schedule until you get to Florida State down there. That'll be a good one in the new year. North Carolina as well. We saw them earlier this season and certainly thought they should be picked higher than 8th in the preseason polls because they have some players that can play.
As does Virginia Tech with some size. Yeah. And they've got a freshman, Liz Kitley, with some height. And so Canane will be facing some tough battles on the interior as well coming up. I think what makes the start of conference play so exciting is the fact that the league is so wide open. Louisville picked as the preseason favorite for the first time since joining the league, but exciting times as There is that parity at NC State, though, continuing to get the job done on the road in their ACC opener.
Improved to 12-0, their third best start in school history. Again, a Wolfpack team that has been to the Sweet 16 back-to-back times, looking to get even deeper this year. Off to a good start now, 1-0 in conference play. Boston College drops to 0-2 after starting conference play with the loss to Duke. They lose this afternoon here at home. NC State has now also won 6 straight against Boston College. What did you learn today from NC State, maybe, Chelsea?
I think we've seen an NC State team with some depth. They've just been really consistent. You know, Coach Moore talking about some of those non-conference games, especially right before the break, where he didn't feel like they played as well. A big win over Maryland, but earlier on, this is a team that's opened conference play and has done a really good job of just being consistent and using the pieces that they have, playing to their strengths.
Going to be joined momentarily by Kai Crutchfield, the leading scorer for NC State in the game today. Still a valiant effort for Boston College here this afternoon at home. And we're now joined by Kai Crutchfield. And Kai, thanks for joining us here today. It was a valiant effort. This was a tough game that Boston College played against you guys defensively, but you were able to knock down some early threes. Can you talk about your game today and what was working for you?
I think we were just executing on offense to be early in the game, and I think that my teammates set me up. They were attacking the basket, you know, just dribble penetration and to get the defense shifting. So.
First game back after a little bit of a break, and not only a game back, but right into conference play. What was the break like for you guys? And then what were some of the things that you felt like you had to work through to make sure you were prepared coming in on the road against Boston College?
I think that Coach just stresses just executing on offense and defense. So, you know, we broke down and practiced things to do well, things that we need to work on, and, you know, just executing in general, just getting back on defense and transition. We understand that Boston College likes to run the ball in transition, so instead of one of us getting back, me and Ace Conan got back. So
I know you guys have been to the Sweet 16 back-to-back years now, and there's been a lot of talk about from Coach West about you guys trying to go further than that. In your opinion, what does this team need to do to get past that Sweet 16 hurdle?
I think we just need to keep on doing what we're doing, get better day in and day out, and just keep on executing. I think that we just keep on listening to Coach. I mean, he's a great coach, and just keep on focusing on us and doing what we need to do to show that we're NC State. So.
Can you talk a little bit more maybe about Elisa Canane, too, because when she is drawing a lot of attention, it opens up some shots for you.
Right.
What is it like to play with a player like her on the floor and maybe provide some more opportunities for you?
I think it's great. I mean, there's not a lot of things you can do at 6'5", and she's been working on her game in practice. We make her better in practice. I think that in order for her to shoot and for her to do what she's been doing, it definitely opens up stuff for us to the three. Sometimes we have teams that double in, and that she's good at finding the wing player and the perimeter player out on the three-point line, and we just try to do the best we can to knock it down.
So, Kai, we talk a lot about kind of the dynamics you guys are working through. You had some players who were starters with ACL injuries a season ago. You were inserted into the starting lineup when some of those players went down. What's that been like, having those players come back as your role has evolved, and also then integrating them back into the system?
I think just the ones that got hurt, they definitely kept on being like a second coach to us throughout the year last year when I was shuttled into the starting lineup. So just kudos to them. They helped me with my IQ and just being able to continue on. They keep on pushing me in practice once they got back. So with them pushing me in practice, it just makes the team better.
You got any plans for New Year's? What are you guys doing for New Year's Eve? Anything?
I go to church.
Go to church.
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably where we should be. We should all be there.
Amen.
Kai Crutchfield joining us. Thank you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Kai.
so much.
Really good stuff from North Carolina State. We're going to be back to wrap some things up here from Conte Forum on the other side of the break. North Carolina State improves to 12-0, the third best start in school history. More to come on the other side of the break after a 72-54 win for NC State. Welcome back to Conte Forum here up in the Heights of Boston College. 72-54 the final score as number 9th ranked NC State takes down a very scrappy Boston College team at home. They have won 6 in a row over the Boston College Eagles now. Impressive game on both sides. We take a look at the preseason poll. We started this at the top of our show, but we go back and look at it again. Chelsea, any thoughts after seeing these two teams maybe here today?
Yeah, I think you're seeing an NC State team that we can certainly expect to be in the top 2 to 3 in the conference play. Those top 4, Louisville, NC State, Florida State, Miami, I would expect to see finish right around there contending. I think when you go over to the right-hand side, though, it's the 9th, 10th, 11th team that we might see be a little bit higher finishing that. I think North Carolina has some pieces. They've lost their last 2 of their last 3. Courtney Banghart in her first season there, but they have those pieces to be successful. And so I think that's a team that could play a little bit better. Georgia Tech, 2nd in the nation right now in holding opponents to 42 points per game. And so their defensive, just scrappy toughness. Nell Fortner in her first year. So there are some teams that have played really well and I think could give those top 4 to 5 teams who were picked in the preseason a run for their money.
Keep in mind also that number 24 Miami is going to play right after we get off the air. Looking forward for this NC State team, in your opinion, Chelsea, what do they need to do to get past that hurdle of a Sweet 16 appearance?
Yeah, I think they're a balanced team right now, and I think that they just need to continue playing the way that they have been.
It's been a pleasure. We want to wish everyone a very happy new year. Again, our final score here, 74-56. For Chelsea Shine, I'm Sam Ravitch saying so long from Boston College.